coming to you live from the bottom of the tallest educational building in the Western Hemisphere. It's Pitt Tonight! Here's your host, Jesse Owen!
So it's raining outside. That's nice. Wow, welcome everybody. How we doing tonight? Good, I'm glad. Hey, welcome to Season 2 of Pitt Tonight. My name is Jesse Irwin. I'll be your host this evening. A ton of stuff has happened since we were here in April. The Brexit, Pokemon Go, some fans here, Rio Olympics. Hillary became the first female presidential nominee for a major political party. Have some women here. Donald Trump, he's running. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Hey, did you hear about this, Raghav? We were nominated for 2 college Emmy Awards. Yeah, they're like the real Emmys, except they're still on their parents' cell phone plan. So, yeah. Hey, anyways, welcome to the season premiere of Pitt Tonight. Overall, this is our 6th show, and like the 6th time watching porn, we are not gonna cry this time. We're not gonna cry.
Porn is the only thing that makes me cry anymore.
It's the only thing that makes you cry. I'm sorry, Ryan. Oi, hey, all right. Well, in other news, let's check out what's going on in the world, right? Hey, over the summer, KFC released a new chicken-flavored nail polish, available in both original and spicy flavors. Yeah, finally, all the luxury and grace of smelling like fried chicken without all the pain and hassle of rubbing a 12-piece all over my body. Love a nice dry rub, right? That came out so wrong.
Later, after the show.
We didn't write that one. No. Did you hear about this, Raghav? A new law says New York City bars must serve pregnant women.
Good shit.
Yeah. It's New York City, the city that never sleeps because all the babies have fetal alcohol syndrome. A recent Swedish study reports children of older mothers tend to grow up healthier, taller, and better educated. Yeah, all the results of older mothers repeatedly telling their kids how big and strong they are. Glad that one landed. Yeah. Hey, a copy of Dude, this is pretty nuts, Raghav. I know you're a Harry Potter fan, no?
Big time.
Big time.
Got
big
all the
time.
Hallows.
You'll get a kick out of this. A copy of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is being sold for $33,000 because of a unique typo. Yeah, apparently Rowling's first editor missed the do-it-yourself bomb-making recipe she snuck in. Just flew right by her.
She's hardcore. People don't give her enough credit.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like somebody forgot to use spell check.
Dude.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, I didn't get it first either. Hey, Bill Gates is now reported to be worth $90 billion. His highest valuation ever, yeah. Yeah, but even with all that money, do you really think someone's actually happy? What? Oh. Thanks, Phil. Oh, all right, well, it says here he's very happy. Because of all the money.
Makes sense.
Thanks, Phil. I don't even like this in here. Let's just get rid of that. Hey, Barnes & Noble recently announced it'll be adding a full alcohol menu. Woo! I knew you were excited about that. Yeah, the new menu is great for professionals who can't be seen coming out of a bar at lunchtime again. Yeah, you know what they say, write drunk, edit drunk, read drunk, live, just do everything drunk. Yeah, which is great now, you know, having an alcohol menu, it's fantastic because now you can just black out and keep experiencing Jane Eyre for the first time, every time. Yeah, customers can order some nice drinks too, like Gone with the Whiskey, Wine and Punishment, or Romeo and whoever's left. No, hey, everybody excited to be here? We avoid the rain, right? Are you excited about that? We've got some fantastic guests, but first, let's give it up for our house band, the Allies of the Boulevard. Groups of friends come in all shapes and sizes, but are always united by a special bond. That's why we here at Pitt Tonight, we decided we'd poll some people before the show for their description of that special something in a segment we like to call Squad Goals. You want to read some of these with me?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it actually has your name on it, so you're probably supposed to read it. That's our single drummer, Dan, if anyone's wondering. These are all 100% accurate. Terrence from Nordenberg writes, I'm looking for a group of other guys all named things other than Terrence. This is kind of my thing.
Jasmine from Forbes writes, I'm just looking for an ensemble of girls who will go to market with me and aren't afraid to convert to Judaism. That's how I met you.
Hey, Sarah from Holland says, I want a crew that'll use the same towels as me. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. I want a crew that'll all use the same towel.
Efficient.
Okay.
Ken from Towers writes, looking for a fleet of guys in button-downs, because I love button-downs, and I figured we might all get close, and then we could all just share button-downs.
Sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
These are all true. Pat from Nordenberg writes, I just want a really close group of 5 or 6 girls and guys, and we'll be so close that during one foggy night, we'll accidentally run over a homeless man. And we'll all agree to hide the body and never speak a word to anyone. One of us will crack and decide to confess to get rid of the guilt and the haunting, so then the rest of the group will stab our friend to keep him quiet. But then at the end, it turns out the homeless guy wasn't haunting us after all, so we killed our friend for nothing. Yeah, we'd be pretty tight.
John from Tower B, I don't need friends. I'm a Christian. I need a wife. The clock is ticking and I'm saving myself until marriage. But also I'm horny.
Tina from Nordenberg writes, I'm looking for friends with type O blood.
Alyssa from Towers writes, you ever notice how sometimes you're alone? I want a company of guys and girls who will never let that happen ever. I want constant eye contact. When I'm looking at one friend and then I want to look at another friend, I don't want to be alone while I shift my eyes, so a third friend should act as a go-between and start from the first friend and slowly move their head over to the second friend. Labor intensive.
Sheldon from PA Hall writes, I want the next Jeff Goldblum.
Don't we all? Come on. Steve from Tower A writes, I want any crew that's willing to rip it from dusk till dawn and talk about how much we love Spike TV.
And finally, Alana from Sutherland writes, sex. It's on everyone's mind. That's why I want a squad that'll say what they're thinking. I want a batch of buddies that'll say the word sex. Say it loud, say it proud. Sex. We'll be right back with sex. All right. Well, we are ready to bring out our first guest for season 2. They are the presidents of Student Government Board and whatever RSA stands for. Let's give it up for Natalie Dall and Ian Snyder. Wow. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're our first student guest ever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad you guys are here. So we were talking the other day, and I want to start off. You told me that you didn't think that guys were hot until you watched Zaboomafoo.
Yeah, that's true. So here's the
Explain
thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing. So I was like 4. Okay, 4-year-olds don't know if people are attractive, not attractive, whatever. But I do distinctly remember I liked one of them more than the other one, and that was the one wearing the blue shirt. That's all I know. Yeah.
I think
so
they're
maybe one was hotter. I don't know.
Anyway, that's your Student Government Board
Hello.
president.
What's up?
But so all I know, I mean, I know a lot about you. You study fly genitals for fun.
I do. Thanks for making me sound like interesting.
Yeah,
and
your
not
first 2 facts are
weird.
right off the bat.
I
You
know.
explain this so you aren't as weird as people.
Yeah, so I'm a biochemistry major. I work in an evolution and development lab in our bio department, and I do study fly genitalia. I get made fun of a lot for it. Everyone always thinks it's funnier than it is interesting.
What can you tell us? I think it's interesting. Well, tell us something fun about fly genitals.
So there's this hook that. Yep, there's a hook in certain species that helps them grab the female during copulation, which is sex.
Yeah.
And basically it evolved about 10 million years ago, which is recent, which is kind of productive, but it's recent evolutionarily. And it's really easy to study how they evolved because they are so recently evolved. And we kind of are studying like the genetic and molecular reasons why these structures evolved.
Wow. So you've been doing this for 3 or 4 years?
About 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years this January, yeah.
Wow. Well, congrats on your anniversary with fly genitals.
I know, it's great.
Ian,
Yes.
you just get on the Jumbotron all the time. That's all we didn't really know each other until recently, but you've managed to get on the Jumbotron. Just explain that.
Yeah, so I have gone to every home football game and almost every home basketball game except for the one when I went to home to surprise my mom for her birthday freshman year. And at every...
Is that your big excuse
yes,
for the thing?
yes,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that would tear my fandom apart, and even then I was torn. I love my mom, don't get me wrong. But,
We're all questioning it now.
yes, of
yeah.
course. But every football or basketball game I've been to, I've been on the Jumbotron.
Wow. How do you manage to, are you, because I know there's people who go to baseball games and they catch, 4 fly balls. How are you managing to, are you friends with the cameramen?
Now I am, as a matter. They're good guys if you ever get to meet them. But honestly, it's because I dance, and I love dancing. The wobble has made some really good opportunities for me in my life. I base the reason I'm here right now is solely because of the wobble. It's because of nothing else.
That's what got you to where you...
No.
Can you give us how far back can you lean?
If you find me on Facebook right now, there's my profile video perfectly shows how far back, but I guess I can as long as the mic doesn't
Yeah, I don't know if we have the music cue.
No.
I can
you
sing it for
okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know it well enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 2 words.
Yeah. Is
Wobble,
it wobble and
baby.
baby? Yeah. Okay.
Wobble, baby.
Wobble.
Wobble, baby. Wobble.
Yeah, let's try this out. You ready?
Okay. All right.
Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble. Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble. Wobble. That's wobble baby.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen. At some point in this interview, there was
There will
going
be
to
a
be a
wobble.
demand for you to do
Yeah.
that. So
It's
your
there.
vertebrae is probably pretty messed up from this dance.
Yeah. I sleep in a back brace. Usually I do intense stretching before anything, so I'm gonna feel that tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I hope you all enjoyed that in some way, shape, or form.
So you're both. Let's explain your jobs. Can you explain what it means to be SGB president, and then you can explain what it means to be RSA president? Absolutely.
Sure. So I am president of your student government board, so I represent the 17,000 full-time undergraduates at the University of Pittsburgh to our administration. So it's a lot of meeting with upper-level administrators and kind of telling them what's going on at the undergraduate level. And it's also working with a really great group of 8 board members. I see some of you in the audience out there. In addition to 7 different committee chairs. Hey, sorry. But we do a lot of advocacy on campus, so a lot of pursuing different initiatives to improve campus life. So for example, a couple of things that come to mind include increasing study space in the library, getting more counselors hired in the counseling center, and a lot of other things that really affect our undergraduate population at the university.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And you explained to me, for anyone who doesn't know, Hillman can't get more plugs. The library is not capable of getting
Unless we tear it down and rebuild it, which would mean like 3 years without a 24/7 library. Sorry.
So at some point, maybe our kids will have to go without a library or something like that, but we're fine. Okay, and then explain what it means to be RSA.
Sure. So the Resident Student Association consists of everyone who lives in a residence hall. So for those of you out there in a hall, thank you, you rock. So we have about 6,200 members within the organization, and there are a couple different levels. There's an executive board of 6 members, and each hall has its own hall council. Everyone within the organization, regardless of the level, works to fix needs in each hall. So things that break, places of need that are identified on a year-to-year basis. So things like having Wi-Fi in the residence halls, or having the self-serve printers, or the staircase that goes from the Pete up to Pennsylvania. Those are all because of RSA. And each hall council works throughout the year to both identify those and then put on programs for the residence hall. And we do the same at the campus-wide level.
That's awesome. I think it's so cool because you're both working to just make Pitt better. You're both, I mean, all 3 of us, we're pretty obsessed with Pitt.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's like a little weird, but yeah, very weird. But I mean, no, it's cool because you're both, you know, if you're a member of RSA, I mean, you were telling me this, you really, you can choose to make your home better. It's everyone's home. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, no, that's the great thing about it, is that the Hall Council has an advisor, but the entire organization is completely student-run, obviously, as is SGB. So even on a year-to-year basis, the impact that a Hall Council or that we, the executive board, have on the residence hall community on campus can vary, but that also means it can get better and better and better year after year, which is a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's the same with SGB.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lot of student-based, student-run, student-led advocacy based on what we see around campus every day, what our friends tell us that they want to see fixed. So it's really, communication's a huge thing. If we don't hear from our constituents, we're not gonna be able to represent you, so reach out to us, please.
That's true. I wanna end with a really cool stat. I think you told me this, but it affects RSA. RSA, over the course of 1 year, ResLife purchases 13,000 pizzas.
Yeah.
Is that the stat?
Yeah, it was, I think it was like 13,900. It might be 14,000.
14,000 pizzas.
So
that's where your tuition is going. Yeah. But thank you both for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. We'll be right back with Bill Hillgrove. Yeah. Wasn't that bad. Just Cadoba. All right. All right. Wow. Well, I'm very, very, very excited for our next guest. He is the voice of the Pitt Panthers football and basketball team and the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. Please join me in welcoming one of my childhood heroes, Mr. Bill Hillgrove. How are you?
Man, how are you?
How's it going?
Where do you want me to sit?
I want you right here.
Right here.
Bill Hillgrove, everybody!
Can I borrow a line from Dean Martin? What are all these people doing in my room?
Bill, how are you?
Oh, wonderful.
What? You look wonderful.
It's the start of the school year, which means start of the football season. The Panthers are deeper, stronger, bigger, faster, and better, but the schedule's tougher, so it's going to be an interesting year, especially September.
Is there one game that sticks out to you? That might be on, I don't know, September 10th.
What, the Keystone? The Keystone Classic?
The Keystone Class. You've got your sponsorships and everything.
Oh,
already
you got,
lined
you
up.
know, you got to get ready to do all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They call it housekeeping.
Wow, Bill, you were just in New Orleans. I mean, you make all these trips. Did you ever realize that you would be doing this? When you were a child, are you thinking, this is the job I want?
Well, you know why? It's not a job. As a child, I dreamed of never having to work. And so far, so good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I know I'd watch the game, just like a lot of Pittsburghers, we'd mute our TV to turn you and Myron or you and whomever on, and that was always so much fun. That's what made me want to originally go into broadcasting, and I just thank you for that. What was that like? You went to Duquesne.
Yes.
And you worked tirelessly when you were in college. Can you just expand on that?
I got a job in commercial radio when I was a sophomore. I was 19 years of age. And they promised me that the job paid $1.75 an hour. So the guy, I did the audition, he said, "You're hired?" I said, "How much?" He said, $1.25. So I started at a very small wage, but I cut my teeth. And you know, I got to do a lot of different things. And this is not only applicable to the broadcast industry, but no matter your field, be versatile, try everything. And then you kind of get a sense of what you're good at. And then you just kind of let the gentle winds push you in whatever direction they take you.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, so you've been doing it 47 years?
For basketball.
For basketball.
And
43?
Football is 43 coming up, and for the Steelers, 23. So,
wow.
Like I say, easiest way to kill me, give me a real job.
So I calculated it out. You've almost called 3,000 games. Do you know the exact number?
I don't.
Okay, I tried to do some math. I'm not good at math, but for what I was able to do, it was about 3,000 games. Do you remember your first broadcast?
Yeah, it was Pitt against Rutgers at the old Rutgers gym. That was 1969, December 1st. And I was scared to death. But after the broadcast was over, I got a phone call from the SID at Pitt at the time, Dean Billick, and said, "You were great, terrific, and keep up the good work." And so I've never had to look back, thank goodness.
Wow. Do you have a favorite broadcast? I know you called so many famous ones. Tony Dorsett breaking.
Yeah, I think when he broke the record at Navy, just the whole emotional weight of that thing. I mean, you know, the Navy doffed their caps, the whole brigade doffed their caps. They fired the cannon. They never fired that for the opposition. And Mr. and Mrs. Dorsett walked around the stadium and received applause, and it was a special moment. I had tears, both cheeks, couldn't talk. I looked at my partner, Johnny Sauer. I said, I need you. And then he had tears on both cheeks too, and it was an emotional moment.
Well, I think, this past season, or this, preseason has been pretty emotional. When you see someone as strong as James Conner go through what he went through, you have motivating stories like that. Would you say that's the most motivating, or one of them? It's got to be, right?
Without question.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? Because of his story, and I know he'll have a good year, he'll be in the Heisman discussion because of the story and the publicity. He was on the Ellen Show. But what I like about James, he, in his challenges, and they were, it's life and death when they tell you have cancer.
Right.
But he was more interested in visiting a friend in the hospital who had paralysis. And to him, that was more important than his own challenge. And I think that there's a lesson there for all of us.
Yeah, there totally is. And I mean, he's a peer for us, which I think is really fascinating. We look at him, and I think, as I'm starting to be older than college football players, my perspective is changing a little bit. But right now, with a peer going through something like that, I think it's really motivating for a lot of kids. I mean, I know I've talked to so many people who say, I'm excited for Pitt football because I love sports, but I think a lot of the times, and I'm sure you agree with this, the stories are really what drive the passion of the game in a lot of ways.
Without question. And for James Conner, running out onto that field at Heinz Field on Saturday, September 3rd, that'll be a great moment.
Absolutely. Well, Bill, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know, now a question I had for you, you do a lot of play-by-play for sports. Do you ever do play-by-play for other stuff?
Not that I can think of. Although in my mind, if I'm in a scenario, I am doing a play-by-play because it's in my nature, it's in my DNA.
So if you're growing in the grocery store, are you saying, like, Bill grabs the corn, then he grabs the Tabasco sauce? Right? I don't know.
She dropped the pickles. Another fumble.
You've clearly done this before. Well, I'd love to do some social commentary if you're up for it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll do some social commentary with Bill Hillgrove. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, Pittsburgh. Great to be here tonight at Becky's 21st birthday banger, the school year party season opener.
Wow, Bill, Senior Tom Harnett is back as a starter in the pre-game game, and by starter, I mean he showed up hours ago. In fact, he was the first one here.
Way too eager, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Hey, a little background on Tom for the fans at home. He's a late bloomer. Tom began his interest in girls at the ripe age of 13, and his practice of heavy drinking started hours after Diane broke up with him 4 years ago.
In high school, Tom was the guy girls came to about how much they liked him. Oh, I read that wrong. Girls came to him about how much they liked his best friend Mike.
Right. Hey, after brutal health implications, refusing to grow past 5 feet 6 inches, Tom is back in the D1 college pickup game.
Tom's biggest challenge tonight, talking to Susie, a girl from his intro to performance class. He said approximately 7 sentences to.
Hey, Bill, which tactics do you think Tom's going to go with tonight?
I'd say Tom is going to go with his classic stand back and watch move.
If Tom wants Susie to approach him, it's all going to ride on his stance, especially his hand placement. Let's see how he executes this.
This isn't so bad.
No, not too bad. Some people say it's a natural stance, but most critics disagree.
Well, he's trying to do that natural dangle, but look, the arms are too rigid for it to work.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, not a huge fan of it. Certainly not the stance of someone who's getting laid tonight. Sorry.
What is this? What is this?
Is he arm dancing?
Is this amateur hour?
Is he gonna stop? All right, yeah, that was a close one.
Well, it sure was.
Oh, he's going for the pocket. He looks like he might have something going on here.
That's got to be a penalty.
Yeah,
that's got to be a penalty.
Oh, man, he's overthinking it.
Looks like he's forgotten everything he practiced in front of the mirror.
Oh, let's see, is he gonna pick up his drink? Oh!
He spilled his drink all over himself.
Bill, it's coming down to the wire here. He's gonna have to make a move and leave it all out on the field.
He's at the 30, at the 20, back to the 30 again. He's totally second guessing it.
Let's see, is he gonna go for it? Let's see, one more chance. The 20, the 10, he could go all the way. Oh! Tough loss for Tom.
Can we get an instant replay on that?
I'm sorry, Bill, this is a student production, so no, we cannot.
Tom, thank you for having me. Jesse, thank you for having me, and thank you and H2P.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. One more time for Bill Hillgrove. Our final performance is from one of the top 10 Bhangra groups in Pittsburgh, easily top 10 Bhangra groups in Pittsburgh, and one of my favorites, probably my favorite. Please join me in welcoming First Class Bhangra.
Okay, let's begin.
On your ways, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away, even when I'm away. OT, OT, there's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray, I pray.
He shoots. He scores.
First class.
Thank you so much to First Class Bhangra, Mr. Bill Hillgrove, Ian Snyder, and of course, Miss Natalie Dall. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.